Alright, hey guys, what's up? 8 Brian back once again, and I'm here with my monthly pickup video for my flea market and thrift store haul for the month of September. So while this is a little bit smaller of a haul than usual, definitely still found some really good stuff, so without any further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, so first let's start off with, I guess we'll do books and music and miscellaneous things that I found. I found this at a thrift store near me. This is a giant book of Batman with Robin the Boy Wonder, a collection of comics from the 30s to the 70s. And this has a whole, there's like over 300 pages of old Batman comics from his, very first origins to everything in between up to the 70s at this point. And this was made in 1972. I picked this up for about $1. I don't think any more than $2. And it has a whole bunch of great old Batman comics. And I only have a few from the 60s. And a lot of them can be pretty pricey to track down. So this is really great where I can read a lot of comics that I necessarily can't afford or can't find. And this is a really good way to read a lot of good old Batman comics. So that was a very cool pickup. Another interesting book that I found, this is a classic favorite of mine from my childhood that some of my cousins got me into when I was a little kid. And I kind of thought it was spooky when I first saw it, but this is the all-time classic. This is the 1963 first edition, first printing of Where the Wild Things Are. And I'm sure many of you guys know this from your childhood as well, where there's the story about a kid on an island with all these crazy monsters, and he thinks they're scary and trying to eat him or whatever, but then he parties with them and finds out that there's nothing to be afraid of, and it's kind of like this is all what's going on in his imagination. It's a really wonderful, creative, imaginative story, and one of my all-time favorites. So pick this up for $1 as well, and another great find. Also picked up something I don't usually pick up, but I thought these were pretty cool. I picked up a couple of CDs. I think these were $1 or $2 each. And this is Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot, which I couldn't resist that. And this is Go Simpsonic with the Simpsons, more original music from the television series. And I picked up another one of these like a month or two ago at a local Goodwill. And this is the second one, so this has all of the different songs. Let's see, like the Cape Fear medley with Sideshow Bob. Let's see, some real big ones that everybody would know. Let's see. I wonder if this has a Camp Krusty theme song. Trying to see, I don't know if it's this one or the other one that has See My Vest on here. Has Senior Burns, Plow Kings. There's a lot of really great Simpsons songs and musicals on there. So this is awesome to have, put in my iTunes library. And moving right along with some more music, I found a really sweet vinyl to add to my collection. As you guys probably know, I like a lot of 60s and 70s classic rock and some 80s hard rock as well. But I mainly like stuff from the 60s and 70s. And I found, I believe this was their first album, Disraeli Gears by Cream. And I think I only paid $2, definitely no more than $3 for this. And this is an awesome album. Even though it's not in the greatest shape, it's kind of split at the top, this is still like a $30 album. It's one of the first albums of Cream, and since this is one of Eric Clapton's, first musical appearances anywhere. It makes it pretty valuable, and it's pretty awesome. I love Clapton. May he rest in peace. And Cream was another great band. If you guys ever heard of them, definitely check them out. All right, so moving right along, let's check out some other toys and stuff that I picked up. First, I picked up. This was like $1, I think. I got this in a bunch of other stuff, actually with these other two things too, right in the same lot. This little Masters of the Universe notepad, which I just thought was neat. And Skeleton, he's off-colored. He's like all peach instead of like purple. He has like more of a skin tone. And you know, it's not worth anything, but you know, it's just a little memo pad, and I just thought it was kind of neat. So pick that up. I already had one of these before, but I think now I have the whole set. These were from, I believe, Kellogg's. Yeah, these are 1989 from Kellogg's. And if you guys watched my Boglins video that I did last year around Halloween at the same time, you'll know that I had this along with the one and only Boglin that I have. These are some Boglin stampers. So the faces are a little bit different, and I don't know if there was any more than 3, maybe there was 4, 5, or 6, I'm not sure. But they have different Boglins on the front, and they're different colors, being blue and pink, and I had a yellow one already. So I'm a huge Boglins fan, and I mean, I know these aren't, you know, the actual real big Boglins toys, because they're worth a ton, and they're expensive, but, you know, you don't see any Boglins merchandise to begin with, so for like $0.25 a piece, I was more than happy to pick them up. Also picked up this little Batman Pez dispenser. I thought, well, I'm kind of unsure with this. It's dated DC 1989. So it's not a thin feet Pez, which I was hoping that it would be, because those are the ones that are worth a lot of money. But this is a later 80s Pez, which still makes it worth a little bit. There's a darker blue Batman Pez dispenser, which is the one from like 82 to 84, and then you have one that's in like the late 70s, and this is 89. So, you know, not only just with the dating of 89, how you can tell a lot of Pez is they have a patent. This is a patent of 4.966, and any patents with them, they use that patent, I believe, from either 72 or 76 up until 1989 or 1990. So that's how you can date Pez. It's not always by if they don't have feet or have thin feet or thick feet, but usually it's a good way to tell with the thickness of the feet. But the patent number generally gives you a good idea and lets you know what type of value that Pez dispensers have. Also moving along, let's see, picked up, well, I guess I'll go into those two. Yeah, picked up some handhelds. I think I paid $1 for this, maybe $2, I'm not sure. This is the Coleco electronic quarterback handheld game. And this is the original from the early 80s, maybe late 70s. I'm not sure exactly when this is from. But with a lot of these games, it has the little red LED lights that you would, you know, whichever one is lit up the brightest, that's the one that you control, and you select whether or not to kick or pass, and you know, run down the field, and you can punt, and you know, do all kinds of stuff like that. And again, these are things I remember a lot from my childhood that my cousins had, and I played when I would go over to my aunt's house a lot, so they're fun. They're cool little toys. Another handheld that I picked up, it's really neat. I only paid $5 for this. Oh, excuse me. Only paid $5 for this. This is a 1989 Tiger Electronics Police Academy handheld. And I was looking this up online on eBay, and I've been seeing them sell anywhere between $30 and $50, because this is a really, really, really rare Tiger handheld. Like, there's maybe 1 to 2 on there. The only ones that are rarer than this, or maybe like there's an MC Hammer one that's pretty rare. But I just picked this up because I love Police Academy, and I thought the design was cool, and it works great and everything. So for $5, that's a really neat find, I think. It's pretty unusual. Also picked up a couple of Transformers. Picked up this guy here, which this is Drag Strip, and he was the last Stunticon I needed to complete my Menasar, even though my Menasar is missing all of his accessories. I paid $7, maybe $8 for him, which isn't bad at all. And yeah, so very happy to get him and complete my Stunticon combiner. And then I also picked up, this is Hoist. Picked him up at a toy show, and he was only $1 in a box of toys. He's missing his hoist grappling attachment that goes on the back when he's transformed into a truck. But all of his rubber tires are really good. The stickers are, the stickers are in really good shape. Let me flip it around that way. I guess that's smarter so you can see there. You know, so for $1, are you kidding me? Like that's crazy. If you ever see a Transformer in the wild and it's in that good a shape for $1, don't pass it up. I mean, you can still use it for parts or repair or something like that. So that's definitely, you know, while a lot of people would be like, oh, it's a junker, just buy it complete online. Like that's a good deal for $1. So I would recommend if you see that, pick it up. Also, this was a really cool find as well. I found. I think I paid $10 for this. This is a 79. I'm sorry, this is 83. This is the C-3PO original Kenner Star Wars carrying case, and it's not the one with the light up eyes. This is the one that's much older, so this one is a lot more valuable. This is a lot more valuable and is a lot more collectible, and looks pretty cool. I'll open it up here so you can see inside. That's what it looks like on the inside, where you would store all of your figures. And pretty neat. I think I have all of them now. I have well, I have the one from the Power of the Force, the Millennium Falcon, and I have Vader. And there's a third one, but I don't remember which one it is. I don't know if I have all three, but I definitely have those two, the Vader and the 3PO now. Also, right in line with Star Wars, before I forget. For $5, this was a good deal. This was Princess Leia in her Bounty Hunter Bouche outfit. Although she's missing the helmet, that's still a pretty good deal for that figure for $5. Saved at least $3 or $4 than what I would have paid online. And I think for like $10, I found a whole bunch of Star Wars glasses. A lot of these I already had, but you know, you can always sell them or just have extras. These are from, I think, yeah, these are from Burger King. Got an Empire Strikes Back with R2-D2 and C-3PO. Another Empire Strikes Back with Bespin, Leia, Han, and Lando, of course. Very cool. Let's see. That's another one with 3PO and R2-D2. I think these were all like only $1 or $2 each, which is really, really cheap, considering most conventions and stuff you go to, they'll be around $8 to $10 a piece. Return of the Jedi with Han and Jabba's sail barge, Luke and Sarlacc. Another Return of the Jedi with Jabba, Salacious Crumb, and Gamorrean Guard. Max Rebo Band. Empire Strikes Back with Yoda, Luke, and R2-D2. And another Return of the Jedi with the sail barge and everything. So there's still a couple that I cleaned out that I'm actually using, so I think there was 12 altogether. And I got here 4, 5, 7. Yeah, so there's like 3 that I have that I don't think I have right here. I think I'm just kind of like drinking out of them and using them. You know, surprise, surprise, right? This was also another cool find. Picked this up in a lot of stuff, so I think this was around like $8, maybe $10. Still have to clean it up, but it's the big Nintendo Game Boy carrying case. And it is dirty, but that'll clean up nice and definitely has some good value to where I could at least get a good 15 to 20 bucks out of it. I would say that's the estimated value. That's how you store your games, the battery charger and everything on the inside, so very cool. And it's just really neat looking that it's just a giant Game Boy. That's really cool. Yeah, let's see, some video games. I didn't get a lot in video games this month. I got some Commodore 64 stuff, a couple of Fisher-Price games, which those are rare. They're not necessarily worth a lot, but they're some of the more collectible Commodore 64 titles. And this is Fisher-Price Logic Levels. I think I paid $2 each for these, which isn't too bad. Fisher-Price Memory Manor. And then 2 other random titles. This is called Retro Ball by HES. I'm not sure what that is exactly. And Delta Drawing Learning Program by Spinnaker Software for the Commodore 64. So that's like a drawing application. And then for the Game Gear, I picked up Shinobi for the Game Gear. So I actually want to fire that up and play that because Shinobi is one of my favorite games. And I want to see how that'll look and play on the Game Gear. I picked up... I think I got this for free from my friend Tim, that you guys probably know from Nazar's video. A Doors glass. It's only reflective because I recently put the aluminum foil on the back, but a lot of these would be like that, where they'd be reflective, like a reflective, painting or carnival prize or whatever you want to call it. That's really cool. Picked up a lot of good VHS as well. This was from a good friend of mine, David. He had a big yard sale, and I picked up, I think these were all like $1 each. They were really cheap. Over the Top, classic movie. A lot of good horror stuff. The original Nightmare on Elm Street. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, which I already had. I totally forgot I had that, but whatever. And then my best one out of the litter, this awesome Mask VHS. And this was actually a rental copy from Blockbuster. It still has the sticker on the back. And what's really cool about this is it's a green VHS tape. How neat is that? That's really cool. That's one of my favorite VHSs that I've picked up just in a really long time. Very neat, very different. Let's see, and also speaking of different, this was kind of neat as far as more toys are concerned. This is the 90s. I thought it was 80s. They did make something like this in the 80s, but I guess not this exact brand. This is called Power Pens. And it's a pen, a little point comes out, but they would also make them in like little games. And I don't want to spill everything all over the place, but you would transform. So it's almost like a little transformer in its own right. And this is a mess. This is exactly what I was worried about. There's a whole bunch of little basketballs in there, and it turns into a basketball net. There we go. Then you put this little guy here, which shoots the ball. And I dropped the other ones, but there's 3 little basketballs just like that. And you just put it in there. And I won't make it now, but you can check on the Czar's video. I got it in first try. Ah, almost that time though. Pretty close. And these are cool. I remembered a lot of these neat little back-to-school toys when I was a kid. So, very cool. Although I guess I was only a few years out of middle school at that point, like 2 or 3 years, so that's why I'm remembering it from then, so it's close. Although I think these are from like 97, but to me it just seems like they're older, so I don't know, I guess I'm just getting stuff confused. My friend Dan gave me this. I don't know what this goes to, but it's a little tiny Willow figure, which is neat. And also from David, but this is from his son Gannon. So hey Gannon, what's up buddy? He gave me a whole bunch of Snailians for absolutely free, which I didn't have any of these, which is really cool. So he gave me 4 of them. There's those 2. And we got 2 more here. The way that they work, let's see if I can get one apart easily. Yeah, here we go. Is you pop apart their shell, and then there's like these little snail slug creatures inside. And they're really cool, very fun. And let's see, also, actually from the same sale, let's keep all that together. I don't remember whose mech this is, but this is a giant Exo Squad walking mech. I don't know if this is, I think this might have been Marsala's, like, extra big special mech or something. I don't remember the name of it. And it's missing, there's supposed to be a gun here and a satellite here. It's missing a couple things, but it's still pretty nice. I think that was like $5. Very cool. I also got this interesting Atari controller, and it's called the Unroller Controller. And it looks like it's a trackball, but actually you just rock the trackball back and forth. So like 4 or 8 different positions, and it doesn't work that bad. I thought it would work really horribly, but I tested it out, and it actually works okay. So that's a surprise. And then I think the last 2 things I got from that yard sale was this really cool Star Wars cassette with a lot of the soundtracks and themes from the original movie. And a sealed copy of Final Fantasy Origins. Which I kind of always hate buying stuff sealed because then I can never play it. You know, it's just stuff I'm usually going to use for trade credit. Other stuff that I picked up, but this was at different flea markets and stuff. This is in little micro machines. This is the Secret Auto Supplies set, and it's supposed to be a little gas additive turbo booster. And you can keep one micro machine up there in the top where it unscrews. And then it folds out to become a little gas station, which is really cool. You just fold out the little side panels there. Kind of tricky to grab onto because they don't really give you anything to pull the side doors down. There we are. And it turns into, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but it turns into a little gas station that is crooked as all get out. There we go. And really cool, I loved all those toys when I was growing up. It transformed from little ordinary objects into little play sets. This I picked up for $1. This is 79 Kenner X-Wing, and it's in kind of rough shape. It's missing some pieces, but for only $1, I mean, it's not bad. And the little part that pops open the wings still works, just missing the guns in the cockpit. But other than that, I mean, it's in good shape. So for $1, you know, that's not bad, I don't think. Let's see. I also picked up this interesting Atari controller, and I thought it was neat because it specifically says on the bottom that it's for, you can't really see it, but it's faded. It says mainly like Atari 800 on there, and I had that computer, so it's interesting that they were marketing this more towards the 800 instead of just the 2600. And it didn't work, but I was able to take it apart and get it working good as new. So for only $1, pretty cool. And also for $1, I picked up this. This is really neat. This is a Kellogg's Fruit Loops, the USS Toucan Sam little submarine, and you would fill this up with baking soda. It would open like that, and then it would dive below the water. I think you just push it down, and the bubbles would make it rise back up to the top. That's really neat. This is probably my personal find of the month. I got this for only $10, which absolutely blew my mind. I got this when I was around 12 years old. Now, it's not mine because mine was destroyed. I made it into a satellite dish and broke it, so I know this isn't the one I had as a kid. It's just the same model. And it's the Radio Shack Aero Buggy. And I really loved this little car when I was a kid. Still totally works, although the batteries are probably going dead. And yeah, just really awesome to see this again. Like, I had so much fun playing with this as a kid, and just so cool to see this, because on eBay it goes for like 30 or whatever, and the guy had it for like $10. I was like, oh my god, are you serious? It's like, I loved this thing as a kid, so just absolutely awesome to find it, and that it still works and is in such great condition, and that put a smile on my face like you would not believe. So that is probably my personal favorite find of the month for September. And let's see, I think that'll bring me to now my finds of the month. I have 3 really cool finds of the month that I couldn't really choose between, so we'll do kind of like my runner-up finds of the month and then my big find of the month at the end. So runner-up, this I only paid in the same lot that I got the Game Boy carrying case and the Star Wars glasses. I got a complete in-box Super Nintendo for only $25. And it's missing the Super Mario World game, but I've already got that. And you know, the fact that this is boxed and has the styrofoam, even though it's a little beat up, I mean that's a great deal in my opinion for $25. I mean, you know, you go anywhere else and try to find a complete in-box SNES, you're going to pay at least, you know, $40 to $50 for, you know, if not more. So that's a cool find, I think. And I remember having, well, I just had the action set when I was a kid. I didn't have the Super set. Mine was just the Super Nintendo, and then I had like Zelda that I got with it when I was like 12 years old. But really cool to have this box. That's neat to have in my collection. And as a second runner-up, this is definitely one of my more interesting finds of the month, and this is a Centurion's Power Extreme pinball machine. And I only paid $10 for this. It needed a little bit of TLC, needed some rewiring, you know, just had to tweak it a little bit, but yeah, it works great. Unfortunately, I don't have any batteries in it now, I don't think. Or do I? Let's see. I don't think I do. I usually don't like to leave batteries in my stuff. No, well, they're not connected anyway. There's just one in there. But yeah, this was a really, really unusual find. And I don't know what the value on this could possibly be, because I don't think I found another one online. But this back here is all metal, and this is a spring-powered scorer. You know, so really cool. Really cool. That was a really neat find, and especially just for $10. And then last but certainly not least, my most monstrous find, not necessarily in value or anything, but definitely in size. This, I believe, is a 1984. This is the Masters of the Universe promotional poster that you would have seen in toy stores, and I believe you could mail away for this. I did have a frame. I put it in a frame of my own, so it didn't come with this frame. The one that it came with was in much, much worse shape than this. I paid $20 for it, but I feel it was worth every cent of that because it just looks amazing, and I'm a huge He-Man fan, and the graphics and everything on that are just incredible with Skeletor, Castle Grayskull, your whole cast of characters. I don't know how much of that I'm going to possibly be able to get on camera because of how enormous it is, but this is awesome, and hang it up in my bedroom. That's one of the first things that I did with it. So this was one of my coolest finds last month and possibly last year. Just really, really awesome to see something like this. So that would be my find of the month for September. And guys, that is going to do it for my pickups from flea markets, thrift stores, and what have you for the month of September. So as I always say, make sure to tweet me your finds, tell me your stories in the comments below, send me pictures on Twitter or on Facebook at the King of Retro page. I love all the interaction that I get from, you know, my fans, from you guys, you know, and from everybody I know in real life as well that I've met, you know, being out at flea markets and stuff. Definitely, you know, show me what you're finding out there. I hope you guys are having a fun time. You know, always look in the most unexpected places. Go to those little thrift stores, go to flea markets, you know, go to Goodwills, go to Salvation Armies, and, you know, you never know what you're going to find. So keep on hunting, and until the next one, guys, take care.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.